Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shelby. I have my books that I've read for February. So I'm currently filming this on February 26th. So the month is not fully over yet, but I just wanted to film this on the weekend instead of filming it during the week. But yeah, so far I've read 9 books. That's crazy. I'm currently working on 2 other ones, but I don't think they'll be done by the end of this month. So I would say my total for this month is 9, which is crazy. Like, I don't know where the time's gone and how we have gotten this far. But first book is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake, right? So she wrote Doesn't Care, which Delilah Green is Astrid Parker's stepsister, I guess. And the next one is coming out in November of this year. I have pre-ordered it already. It's Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, and it's basically 3 different books on like the same friend group, but this one's about Astrid. And yeah, Astrid is like an interior designer. She has always been traditionally straight, and now she's questioning things. Yeah, what's the girl's name? Jordan? She meets Jordan, and Jordan is a construction gal, and yeah, they inevitably fall in love. But I read this February 1st through February 5th. I gave this a 4-star. I have my Goodreads up. If you're not following me on Goodreads, what are you doing? But I said this book was pretty good. I would suggest reading Delilah first. It was a good follow-up because it had Delilah and Claire in it, which Claire is who Delilah falls in love with. Claire is Astrid's best friend. So there's a little more drama in that one, I feel like, but still good. And I liked that she stuck. There was a big thing with her mom, and she stuck up for herself, and there's like some hints at what Iris's book is going to be about. And yeah, it's just a really good group of friends that truly end up becoming sisters, even if they're not sisters. And yeah, I just really have enjoyed these books so far. Yeah. And then I have You Have Been Volunteered by Laurie Gilman. This book is about John Dixon. This is the 2nd book in this series. I have the 3rd one, which I'll go through after this. This is the 2nd book in the series. The 4th one comes out this summer sometime. Let me click on it. It's called Smells Like Tween Spirit. It comes out August 2nd. So You've Been Volunteered. This series is interesting. The mom, Jen Dixon, reminds me so much of Lorelai Gilmore. Like, each time that I read this, that is in my review, that she reminds me of Lorelai. I read this February 6th through February 9th, gave it a 4-star. The book continues to expand on their personalities. It expands on like what it means to be a class mom, and she gets suckered into doing a lot of other things because she is a stay-at-home mom. And so yeah, it's an interesting, like, wholehearted, like, feel-good read. She'll make you laugh because she's really funny, like Lorelai. If you like Lorelai Gilmore, read these books. They're very simple, very easy reads. Yeah, there's not much to them that you have to like overly think about. And then the follow-up one, Yoga Pant Nation. This is I read this February 20th through 21st. I gave this one a 3-star. I don't think it was as good as You've Been Volunteered or the original Class Mom. Yeah, again, I said she's like Lorelai. I'm gonna just repeat myself on that. This book I liked more for different reasons, but also less for different reasons. You see a lot more of her parents. You see her daughter struggle with a custody battle, and that is very interesting. You also have her husband's ex-wife in here, and a twist that happens in the end with that. Next, I have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. There is a sequel to this. It's about his sister, coming out June 7th. And this book is about Haley and Julian. Haley is a gardener. She's had a crush on Julian for as long as she can remember, and Julian does not remember her when they first like re-meet, because he's been away, and she ends up being like the gardener for his family's estate. They are in the winemaking business. Her grandma has just died. She's taken over her grandma's business. It's like a whole thing. I gave this a 3-star. I read this July 13th through 16th. There were cute things that happened. It was not my favorite story. It's very smutty, and I should have known that with Tessa Bailey, but yeah, there's a lot, and it's pretty much right away. The relationship was cute. He's a little domineering, a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably never read this book again, but I wouldn't say not to read it. I also pre-ordered the second one already, so I really just like reading sequels because I like books that have the original characters in them, but they're not focused on them, if that makes sense. So I did pre-order this. Yeah. Then the next book, I listened to this one on Scribd, whatever the name of the app is. This is Children of Fallen Gods, by Carissa Broadbent. This is the second book to, it's not War of Lost Hearts, is it? Daughter of No Worlds. It's the War of Lost Hearts series. I listened to this January 23rd through February 17th. This one was really hard to listen to. There was just something about it that was not, it didn't catch me like the other one did. I had a really hard time like enjoying this one. I gave it a 3-star, but realistically I should have given it a 2-star. It was so hard to follow like their world. I don't know. There's a third one. I own the third one. Am I gonna read it anytime soon? No, I'm not. Maybe eventually, but I think I need to stay away from like this kind of fantasy for a little while. Because I'm thinking of rereading the Harry Potter series. We'll see. Because right now I'm about to work on the Hunger Games series. Next I have Just My Type, by Fallon Ballard. This book was really cute. It is about Lana Parker and Seth Carson, which I really liked this one. I read this February 17th through February 19th. I gave it a 4-star. Honestly, probably could have given it a 5-star. But I liked the book because it is essentially, they're both journalists. Like, they dated in high school, didn't work, so exes, becoming friends to becoming lovers. So like second chance type thing, kind of. So basically after high school, Seth became a serial dater and Alana became a like exclusive monogamous. Like, she would date someone for like 2 years and then it just wouldn't work out, but it would always be the guy breaking up. Yeah. And so she one night goes out to dinner. She thinks she's about to get engaged and the guy breaks it off. And then like the next day at work, they have like a really important meeting. But in that morning, Seth is calling her and she's trying to figure out what is going on, but she doesn't want to talk to him, so she ignores him. Well, they end up having to make a list. They have to work on a project together. They have to make a list of 10 things that the other person has to do. And essentially they're trying to get him to like settle down with someone, and like what that would look like for him. So like on his list, it's like get furniture, delete dating apps, delete your booty call numbers, like get a pet and stuff like that. Lana's list is like kiss someone at the bar, go, like hers is to like let go more and love yourself more. So like it's like enjoy a day exploring, your city by yourself. And there was like Have a One Night Stand, I believe, was one of them. And yeah, I really liked this. Therapy's talked about a lot. Psychology stuff is talked about a lot. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I did a lot of tabbing. Also, I've just recently started tabbing, like last month, and I have really enjoyed it. I don't tab every book, but I have tabbed. I've been tabbing. Then I have All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This one, I think I tabbed a lot more than the other one. I read this February 22nd through February 23rd. I gave this a 4-star. It's about Quinn and Graham, and this is a heartbreaking story and like a true love story. So Quinn and Graham end up getting together because of their exes were cheating on them with each other. And yeah, that's a cute love story right there in itself. And yeah, I really enjoyed their love story. I enjoyed them like rediscovering themselves after like 7 years together. And yeah, Quinn goes through a lot. She's very dark and broody, and like you have your grumpy sunshine for sure. That is for sure a part of this. And yeah, I just really like their love story. I like her. I like both of their family dynamics. It is told from a then and now alternating chapter, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, I would recommend this. I know like people are anti Colleen Hoover, and I get it. Buy your coho secondhand then. That's what I've been doing. Buy it secondhand if you don't want to support her. I don't know all the details, so I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, buy it secondhand. That's all I'm going to say. Then I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I actually listened to this on Libby, which is a free app through your library. And I would highly recommend it. I actually really enjoyed listening to this through Libby over Scribed. I don't know, it's the same thing, but the app I like better. I read this February 18th through February 25th. I gave it a 4-star. I did read this back in 2020. And I wanted to reread it before the movie comes out. I think the movie comes out this fall, maybe? I don't know. But I wanted to reread it far enough away from it where I'm not like inundated with it and then go watch it and then I'm disappointed. Does that make sense? Like I want a little bit of separation where it's like, okay, I'm not going to remember every detail, but I'm going to remember enough that like I'll still enjoy it. This is a prequel to The Hunger Games. It is about President Snow before he was Snow. And all I'm gonna say is Snow lands on top. Snow is crazy. I am looking forward to the movie. There were a lot of things in the reread that I absorbed more than when I first read it. I could follow the story a little bit better. And yeah, I feel like the pacing was off, but the pieces that were paced off like needed to happen how they happened. So I don't know if the pacing was off or it just felt like that to me. But yeah, I enjoyed it as my reread. And then my last book of February is So Be It. I read this just February 25th. Like I finished it within a day. And then I watched the movie last night and I cried. This book I read, this is the first book that I remember like reading and feeling emotion to when I was in like late elementary school, middle school. I have read this book probably 15-20 times. It is one of my favorites. It is one that I will continue to go back to, and I cry every single time. I would say this is mid-grade, but there's just something about it that really like makes my heart happy. I also didn't know there was a movie until yesterday. And once Lent is over and I can order books again, because that's one thing that I'm giving up for Lent is ordering books, I will be purchasing Sooth, because I didn't even realize that there was a sequel, or like not a sequel, but kind of a sequel. Like it's like years later. But so this book will always be a 5-star to me. The 2 to 3 chapters at the end will always make me cry. It is about Heidi, who her mom is disabled, and they land on the doorstep of Bernadette, which movie Bernadette? Chef's kiss. She was the perfect Bernadette. I think the movie casting was actually really, really good. But she doesn't know anyone else in her family besides her mom, and her mom only has 23 words that she can say, and so they kind of have to put pieces together, and it's really hard to do that. And Bernadette does not leave her apartment. Like, she is afraid of the outside world, and so yeah, it's just an interesting story about how, like, she figures out life, and then when she's 13, she finds these pictures and she wants to go meet the rest of her family and just figure out like where she's from, why it's just her and her mom. And yeah, she goes on like a little adventure, and it's really heart-wrenching, and I really, really like this book. This book will always have a special place in my heart. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I would suggest reading this if you never have, and let me know how you feel about it. But yeah, this one just makes me happy. It's like a part of me. I don't know why, but I've always had like a deep soul connection to this book. But yeah, that is it for my books of February, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.